What's up, guys? You're looking at two different screenshots of two different people that I've been working with. This one was a screenshot out of a call, 90,000 euros in 90 days. And then the other screenshot that I want to show you guys is this here, actually a screenshot of an ad account, £1,000 of ad spent on a singular day and a really, really healthy margin. Both of these guys, when they came to me, both of them told me the same exact line. I need help with creatives. It's always the same thing. Always, I hear it a million times. It's always creatives. It's always the ads. It's always the marketing, right? And so this is why I make this video today, so that you will never have this same issue again. I will break down everything that I've learned over, hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend across me and everyone that I've worked with, obviously. And so I want to break it down. I want to show you guys everything that I know, and I want to really just give you guys all the information that you can go ahead and execute that on your own. And so as you guys know, just to get right into it, because I don't want to waste your time, you can and actually should categorize all your ads that you make into 5 different awareness stages, right? So there's unaware people, problem aware people, solution aware people, product aware people, and most aware people, right? Most people know this. To be fair, if you've watched one of my videos before, or someone else ever said that, you've probably heard of this concept before, but you probably don't know how to apply it yet. And so I want to give you guys the best practices from me personally that I've used for each of these awareness stages to get people to being one step more aware every single time, and to convert a super unaware person the first time of them actually seeing your ad, which is a super difficult thing to crack, right? I've written down 4 different ones here that I want to break down. First one is dream to problem, fear to problem, regret to problem, or outcome to solution, basically focusing on effort and sacrifice. And so what do these mean, right? Dream to problem is essentially saying something in the hook like, imagine a world where blah, 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 right? So you basically lead to a dream, a completely crazy claim that is unbelievably not true as of right now, but is actually the desired dream outcome of your exact avatar, which you figure out through research, right? And so when you have this dream, you then say, okay, this is not possible because of problem XYZ. So you channel this dream, this immediate dream outcome from the very beginning of your ad to the problem. And so you connect the two things. This is how you turn someone unaware to problem aware very, very, very quickly. Second thing is fear, okay? If you have something which people are afraid of, a common fear, this could be the fear of loss. It could be the fear of missing out. It doesn't matter what it is, just always tie it to the actual deepest human desire. So it could be health, wealth, and relationships. And so when someone's actually in depth, very, very afraid of something, once again, very easy to tie that to the problem and then to your solution and so on, right? Third thing is a super interesting one, which is regret, right? This is something, especially when it comes to if they've had a specific problem or a loss way back. So they already struggled with this. They already have been struggling with this, and they've been regretting one decision ever since that. And the reason why this is unaware is because there's a bunch of these people. Now you can say something super broad, super, untargeted, not niche down, super unaware, and actually channel that, even if it doesn't make any sense to your problem, right? And then the last one is outcome to solution. So instead of once again, you kind of start with the dream, right? But instead of saying, okay, well, but you can achieve this dream, but this is the problem, you immediately go to your solution and say, well, this is how you can put in a lot less work, a lot less effort, a lot less sacrifice, and achieve that outcome very quickly, right? And so this is a very smart way to tie the outcome to the solution very, very quickly, and essentially turn an unaware, problem-aware person solution aware like this extremely quickly, right? So once you have your people solution aware, and these are basically the best practices that I have here for solution aware people, and these are 5 of these. So I'm going to go through them once again: connect, benefit, and solution, competitor, talk about competitor pricing, talk about why the competitor mechanism is too slow, so the speed, talk about the competitor solution, that it actually doesn't work, and then say problem solution. So this problem solution concept, which you already know. And so connect benefit to solution is something which is obvious, but no one really does it. If you look at any ads, especially beginners and especially dropshippers that don't compete on product, right? All they do is they start listing out features and benefits, but that people don't care about that, right? So you always have to give a benefit and then connect it to your solution. So you could say achieve XYZ with our solution, right? This is the easiest way to turn someone product aware. Same same thing to talk bad, to talk shit about the competitor pricing, right? Explain why it's overpriced, why it's not worth it, right? Why you're more worth it. This is talking to actually the deepest human desire, which is wealth, right? So once again, you have 3: health, wealth, relationships. Pricing is wealth, right? Competitor mechanism, speed, right? How long is it going to take until you reach the dream outcome if you go with the competitors, regardless of the price, right? Competitor solution, that it actually doesn't work. And then you have to be both of these for the competitor mechanism when it comes to speed and the competitor solution that it doesn't work. You have to talk about the cost of inaction. So they pay for that, and then even despite that they already paid for a solution for this specific problem, because it's not yours, you have to make it really bad and actually remind them of the cost of inaction of not using your specific solution. Very powerful marketing tactic. And then obviously problem solution. So you show someone the problem, you talk about the problem, and then immediately connect it to your solution. This is probably something which you've already tried, which you've already been using. But once again, the implementation of this, the correct implementation, is actually what makes this super valuable, right? So now once someone's product aware or most aware, there's a couple of really cool, important things that people just skip, that people don't have in their ads, and that is the exact reason why most of your guys' ads fail. First one is urgency, right? If I look at any ads right now, I can guarantee you basically that even if I looked at your ads, there's not enough urgency inside of your ads. And there's a million ways to do urgency. You don't have to even do it in the call to action of your ads. You can do it in the hook. You can do it in the whole body. You can have like specific keywords saying, instead of saying, oh, we can help you with this and that, you could say, this month we can help you with this and that. So these small keywords that just put a time limit to everything, give them a reason for urgency. So say something like, hey, we're selling our brand, right? Or hey, we're doubling our price. But if you want the grandfather's price, before we double next week, because we want to, we love you guys so much, we have so good quality, we want to keep up the quality, you just think of something, and then, give them that as an urgency of, okay, until next week, I can actually get this half price. Urgency you can get so creative with. Keep in mind though, simple scales, fancy fails. And so whenever you try something too fancy, too crazy, too cool, when it comes to urgency, usually people don't get to understand it. Whenever it's like some inside joke or whatever, try to, keep it simple and really just push as much urgency as possible. And usually the best ads are the ones where you look at them and say, there's no way this is going to work. Those are usually the best ads, all right? Second thing is reinforce the desire. So actually give them a logical reason why it makes sense to solve that desire and to actually why your solution is the best one, right? And so you're the best competitor. That's the specific one. So you have to reinforce their desire, because most brands, once again, most dropshippers especially, what they're doing is they're making ads about the features, right? They're talking about the features. You have to reinforce the deepest desire that they're actually struggling with. So let it be health, for example. Talk about the exact health benefits without even presenting your mechanism of how it works. Number 3, the unique mechanism. Why is your brand different from everyone else? It could be your offer. Maybe have a one-size-fits-all. Maybe have an all-in-one solution. Maybe have a bundle with different products. Maybe you have, same product, but let's say a completely different avatar. And so that's kind of your mechanism. So there's a million different ways to be completely different from everyone else. And usually it's not enough to just have bigger promises or bigger claims. You actually have to back it up with proof and social proof, okay? Number 4, kill former limitations. So marketing at its core is just changing beliefs. And this is something which you'll learn very, very early on when you're getting into dropshipping, when you're getting into e-com. However, you have to eliminate the former limitations that allow them to change their belief. This is something which sounds a little bit complicated, but if you let it sink in, obviously everyone already has an expectation or a thought process when it comes to certain topics. Let's say supplements, right? Let's say you're a middle-aged person and you've been telling everyone, you've been telling your kids that protein powder is bad. You've been telling everyone, you've been reading online about why protein powder is bad for this and that, and you should never take it. But now you're actually kind of shifting away from that. Maybe you start working out, you start taking care of your health, and now you read more and more about the actual benefits and that it's not bad. You read studies that it's not bad. And so you have to, like a good ad, tell someone who's completely in this mindset of, okay, no, protein powder is terrible, it's unhealthy, right? To kill those beliefs and then be open to new solutions and then accept that your solution is the best. Really difficult to do. Everyone skips it. If you manage to do this though, your ad is going to scale like crazy, right? right? Now, 5, introduce new proof and focusing on the keyword new here, right? Whenever something is new, whenever something's fancy, people always tend to like it and believe it more than the good old proof, right? For some reason, it's just the case. And so that's why you should always play around with as much new proof as possible. And if you don't do this, once again, there's always going to be a competitor who does do this instead of you. So what should actually really entice you to do this is the fear of missing out, is your fear of missing out as a marketer, because all other marketers are just going to do it instead of you, right? Simplicity is probably the craziest direct response element that you will ever find, and it's just presenting, first of all, how easy is it to reach the dream outcome when someone actually takes your offer. So you have all the kind of free gifts, all the ebooks, all the explanations, all the guides, all the tutorial videos to your offer, to how to actually properly use it. People will never ask yourself, okay, well, how do I actually use it, or how often do I use it, and how much, so how intensely, everything. It doesn't matter what you sell. There's always stuff that, objections when it comes to, oh, this is too difficult, I don't want to take the time to do this. Well, guess what? With simplicity inside of your ads, actually showcasing and talking about how easy is it, you actually eliminate a huge objection. And simplicity is something which, by the way, goes hand in hand with also your ads and your funnel especially. So if we take your funnel as an example, usually if you have like your add to cart button or something, super, like let's say it has 10 million emojis all over it, and it's like they can pick 10 different options, and they have to click there and type in the name here, and then go on 10 different pages before they can buy. Your conversion rate is going to suffer. Okay, so make it as simple, as easy for them to buy as it is to them to reach the dream outcome, right? That's when you usually scale. Once again, simple scales, fancy fails. 7, refine the brand image, right? So every brand has an image. Every brand has something that they're known for. The cool thing is, if you're just starting out, if you're not at a super high scale, you can actually massively influence with the type of ad that you show it to. And this is something which is, a topic which I've been personally looking at recently really a lot, is ethical ads, ethical marketing, right? Do you play with, negative emotions? Do people start to feel fear or sadness or anger when they hear your brand name, or are they actually feeling something positive? And the only thing that influences that is you as the marketer, right? If your ads are all people dying and people screaming, then that's what they will think about whenever your product arrives, whenever they're on your website. Do you think what do you think is going to be easier to get people to buy again, right? Is it when someone is afraid when they hear your brand name, or is it when someone starts laughing when they hear your brand name, like positive laughter? I believe it's the second one, right? And second, like number 8 thing is time and place. So talk about where and when and how exactly it's going to feel like when they achieve that dream outcome, and where and when exactly is your product, your offer, a solution in the process of achieving that dream outcome, right? So especially a gym example, let's say you sell a pre-workout product, right? Let's say you talk about how, hard it is to bench 100 kg, like 225 pounds without having a pre-workout, without having caffeine, right? Well, now with our new XYZ pre-workout, blah, 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 you can actually achieve it a lot more quickly. Something like this, okay? Time and place. Explain the dream outcome as much as humanly possible. Try to make them feel like through the screen, like they achieved their desire, and that's when you get them, okay? Very, very powerful. Now, another concept which I want to show you guys is actually called the triple diamond concept here. And this is super interesting because, as we already clarified before, marketing at its core is just changing beliefs. Beliefs that someone already has, shifting them towards actually believing that you are the best competitor for something and you have the best offers for something, and right now is the best time to take your offer. That's when you get a sale, right? It doesn't matter if it's the first time of them converting, if it's an email upsell, if it's the 10th time of them subscription, not canceling the subscription when they notice it, right? All these things happen again and again and again, and these are all purchase decisions that are made emotionally, but we're as humans trying to rationalize them, trying to explain them with logic. Always, right? And so what a lot of people, especially beginner marketers, tend to do is they only change the first belief and then immediately try to go for the close. So that means people try to say, okay, well, you have a problem, right? Problem where people are usually pretty good at doing that. People are usually pretty good at this stage right here, right? Saying like, problem solution. That is usually pretty cool. However, it's not enough to just show them, hey, you have a problem. And even if they believe it, it's not enough to then say our solution is the best. I'm going to explain why. There's a step missing in the middle, because most people, when they know they have a problem, so they are problem aware, right, which is pretty easy to do, actually are not even close to accepting that they are open for new solutions, right? Because the second belief that is even a lot stronger than them having, I don't have a problem, it's much easier to showcase that, okay, I do have a problem, right? So they're thinking, still like in the phone, okay, fuck, I do actually have a problem. But then the second belief, right, which is a lot harder to crack, and most people don't even attack this, is your current solution does not work. This is probably the strongest belief, and everyone skips this middle diamond here, this middle step. You have to actually convince them to be open for new solutions. No one does this, right? And belief 3 is then our solution is the best once they're actually open for them. This is how you properly channel beliefs. This is how you change beliefs, but you can't skip this second one. This is the reason why all of your ads fail. I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to guess that you've never actually mindfully thought about this. And if you've had winning ads in the past, then I want you to go back and I want you to check them out, probably ripped because you don't know why they worked, and go back and figure out exactly why they worked. And I bet you that it had the belief too that it actually solved. And so that was pretty much it for this video, guys. I want to say thank you so much for giving me your most important asset, which is your attention. And I want to say, thank you for watching this video. I wish you a beautiful day.